What is going on, everybody? Jacob here from The Nutrition Store, and you are watching / listening to The Nutrition Show, a podcast of supplements, stories, and shit talk. The 3 S's of this show. Guys, I'm joined with Andy Lewis, owner and founder of Norse Fitness today. He has blessed us with his beautiful presence, and I really have no direction of this podcast. He's a good friend of mine. We're talking business today, talking a lot of cool stuff. Welcome, man.
Thank you.
Now, where are you guys based out of, man?
So Norse Fitness is based out of Concord, North Carolina, about an hour and 45 minutes from here.
Okay.
Yeah. We're a fitness accessory clothing company, and we also have a gym as well.
Yeah. You also have a gym, the Norse Concord is like becoming a kind of a mecca. Like people know.
It's starting to get there.
Yeah, like people know what it is. So don't downplay it, man. I like it. Actually, that's kind of where you and I met for the first time at your gym.
Maybe.
I think because I came up for the deadlift, the salmon deadlift thing.
Yeah.
I met Andy there.
I think that was the first time we met.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You weren't drunk, were you?
No, I was drunk.
Okay, yeah.
I was really drunk.
No, I remember, walking into this place. It was just everybody was yelling. Just a badass hardcore environment, man.
Yeah.
And, that was the day I pulled a lot of weight out
700?
of my ass. Yeah, I pulled 700.
What'd you deadlift prior to that?
I had never deadlifted more than 675, and that was with straps. So
yeah, and you just kind of walked up and pulled that thing, like pretty much cold too. Like you didn't really warm up either.
I mean, I play with 405, man. But no, that was a random thing. Like that's definitely something I couldn't do anymore.
I think it's the energy.
Yeah,
like you said. Well, part of it. But
you get around people that are motivated and wanting to do things.
Yeah,
or like especially lifting, dude. That's why I love powerlifting more than bodybuilding personally.
Right.
Like as far as sports, I like to watch.
No, I mean honestly, I prefer bodybuilding over powerlifting as well.
Oh, you like bodybuilding better?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I haven't done powerlifting in like 2 years.
Well, see, I'm saying from a sport perspective, because powerlifting is more motivational. Like, people are more
for sure.
Up.
There's more aggressive.
Yeah, and like with bodybuilding, I've always noticed that it's kind of like me. Like a
pretty self-centered.
It is, but I mean, there's times in life where that's needed.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And they put in a lot of hard work for that.
Right.
That's kind of like their moment to shine.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it. You have, they put in half a year to a year of prep, sometimes more, and then that day is when they get to put out there for show. I mean, that's something to brag about and be proud of. So no, I'm all on board with that.
Exactly.
I think everyone deserves to have a moment to shine.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, if they put in the work, nobody deserves shining without
you
it.
get some disgusting. No, I'm not
gonna. Yeah, exactly. But man, I guess people know. A lot of people that are watching this probably know a little bit about Norse already. They might. But how'd you get started? Like, what was what initiated Norse Fitness for you?
So Norse started back in 2015. I was still living in Panama City, Florida. If you've ever been to Panama City, you know it's just a dead-end, worthless town.
Right.
It's pretty much like the Jersey Shore of the South.
Just
a bunch of bros that don't really give a shit about anything. It's just a bunch of bros really you go into the gym. This is around the time I first started getting serious into lifting.
Yeah.
So I'd go into the gym. I was trying to learn more. I was trying to grow. I was trying to be around like-minded people. And instead, I was just surrounded by a bunch of dudes with literally spiky hair, tans, and they'd come in, catch a bro pump, and then hit the nightclub.
Wow.
And so
sounds like Chad and Brad and Kyle got together.
It's just a bunch of Chad, Brads, and Kyle.
Yeah. Wow.
Not people I'd really like to be around, but unless you're Chad or Brad or Kyle, I apologize.
Yeah.
But I hated everything around me. I hated the culture. I hated the atmosphere. It wasn't my idea of what fitness should be about and what lifting should be about. It wasn't really a self-improvement perspective. It was I'm just trying to catch some ass, and that's pretty much it. So Norse was pretty much a way to rebel against that.
Yeah.
So I hated that. To me, that was the enemy.
Right.
I wanted to be the complete opposite. So I started Norse, and all I did by started Norse, I mean I got a round of 25 tank tops made. I sold a recording interface that I had because I used to play in a band. Wasn't doing that anymore, so I traded the recording interface for 25 tank tops, and I sold those out of the trunk of my car. And really all that was pretty much I was giving them away at cost to just be like, hey, wear this. That way people know that you're not part of this. You know what I mean? So I was trying to create something from the very beginning. That was the whole concept of it. And it just kind of took off from there. I got rid of those pretty quickly. I took a little bit of profit. I got more made. I did that for a while, and then one day I posted a picture of it online, and someone's like, "That's sick. Where can I buy one?" So then I started some bullshit online store, and it just grew from there like pretty quickly. It wasn't what it is now. Was never what it was intended to be. It still has the same concept. We're still a community. It's just that now it's like an international thing, and it's just stronger because of that. But I never intended, like we make knee sleeves and wrist wraps and stuff now, and that was kind of a product of the same thing. I saw an issue in the fitness industry where I was like, I don't want to wear some shit called gangster wraps. You know what I mean? Like, that's not me.
Yeah.
So.
No. Yeah, Mark Bell, take that.
Yeah, fuck you. But anyways, so it was kind of the same thing. Like, I see something that I don't agree with. It doesn't match my values and whatnot, and Norse creates it instead. And people just seem to, I guess, identify with that.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, you created you almost created a culture where there was none. Like, I mean, there was already a pervasive one, but you kind of stuck your nose in. And,
I think I just kind of gave people a path.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody seeks.
Right.
For a lot of people, the gym is a path and a purpose, but once you start to develop that community within there, there's there's subsectors to everything.
Well, and I mean, let's think about it like this too. Going into the gym, I mean, you were working out for a while, but once upon a time, you're probably lost when you went into the gym.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably felt like an outcast. You know what I mean? So with Norse, it allows someone, say if they're stuck going to some just like terrible gym, like I was in Panama City, but they can wear Norse clothing, they can wear the accessories, and it's the exact intention as it was in the beginning. They go into this gym, they're like, I'm not a part of your bullshit. Like, this is what I'm a part of.
Right.
It's a mission statement.
Of course.
And I think that's why people cling to it, because it allows them to be part of something bigger that they can identify with, and it's not the same as the shit that they're against.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, that totally makes sense. I like that. No, yeah. That's, I mean, I never really looked at it from that perspective. I remember...
Probably I should talk about more.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think that's, honestly, that might be something you want to send out on a newsletter or something. But, no, I mean, because I just remember I worked for, about 3 years ago, I worked for Gold's Gym in Rock Hill, South Carolina when I was in school. I went to Winthrop up there. And I remember seeing a bunch of people like wearing the Norse shirts, and I never really knew. I didn't know what it was, but every single one of them, dude, was like a no bullshit kind of person. Like, they bought into the same culture, the same, just kind of like rustic. Like, usually had a beard of some kind, like bigger dudes, or females. There's a lot of girls that
there are a lot, but it's just kind of the same thing. They look different as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's usually chicks that have traps bigger than mine or yours, and honestly, they're tatted up and everything else.
And I don't think he's saying that in a bad way.
No, it's a good thing, because I mean, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
The one thing I want for her is to believe that it's okay to be strong. And so the chicks that we have involved with Norse, I mean, we don't have like a lot. We have more males just because, more males identify with it. But the chicks that we do have are honestly just badass individuals.
Yeah.
And that's cool, because really, like, I don't think any of our shit customers are like, bikini models.
No.
You know what I mean? But they're strong. Like, we sponsor Canada's Strongest Woman. We sponsor Germany's Strongest Woman. And they fit that, they're no bullshit.
Yeah.
And they could whoop most dudes' asses.
Oh, and
you know what I mean?
Man.
And I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So you guys do a lot of your stuff outside of the U.S.
Yeah, I would say probably 40% of our customer base is outside the U.S.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
crazy.
Because I see, if you guys follow him, or follow the page, like, you go like to Europe.
Yeah. I'm in Iceland, not right now, of course, but I'm in Iceland usually every quarter. I have pretty much a family there. Hasey and Runa are two of my best friends. I pretty much have a room at Hasey's house. I know a lot of people over there. I feel more at home there than I do here a lot of times. But also, like, I was in Norway not too long ago as well. I am in Europe pretty often. Yeah, but same with Canada as well. Like, we'll go up to Canada and hang out with the athletes up there and stuff like that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That is really cool to have that opportunity.
It's fun.
So when you started Norse, did you ever see yourself, like, traveling around the world?
No.
Like did you ever really have that?
Before Norse, I was in a band and I traveled a lot. I pretty much spent 5 years touring.
Wow.
But when I started Norse, I would have never predicted that it gave me an avenue to travel.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it does. And instead of just like, I get to go see the world, but I also get to like spread my message and stuff at the same time. So it's pretty cool.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah, and I meet like-minded individuals, and that's what it's all about. It's just like creating a community.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's something that myself, I feel like, we've somewhat established as a brand here locally.
Oh yeah.
But me being a retail store, it's almost restricted me from being able to get out there a little bit because.
Yeah, but what you guys have done here is just phenomenal.
Well,
It's like the culture that you've created. I don't know if it's. I mean, there's a lot of good supplement stores and stuff, but the culture that you guys have here, you've done something that I haven't seen any other supplement store do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Not talking shit about anyone else, but Jacobs is doing it better.
I mean,
but anyway.
that means a lot, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just trying to grow that, and that's something I feel like we can align with as far as the culture aspect and growing the brand aspect of companies. And that's why I'm glad you.
Well, you probably saw a similar thing when you started at TNS.
Oh, no doubt.
You saw a lack of something, and you saw that it could be better.
Yeah.
So you just ran with it.
Exactly.
And you created that.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Well, and I'm sick of. I was sick of retailers being pushy and only caring about margin and numbers and.
Right, because the supplement company gave them an incentive to sell more of something.
Yeah,
right.
and so why do we worry about that when we could develop a culture around educating? Because I think that's why we all got into fitness to begin with. We developed a passion about learning about it and about becoming better. So why not focus more on educating and developing that lifelong trust?
Yeah, and once you get their trust, then, I mean, they know that you're not going to fuck them over. They're going to come in here. I mean, like that 18-year-old or 17-year-old or whatever that just came in here.
Oh, yeah, asked about creatine.
You asked about creatine. You just told him the straight-up truth. You didn't push the sale on him, and he ended up leaving with it because you educated him, you provided value,
right? Yeah.
You helped him, and now that dude's going to come back for any more supplement advice. And I'd much rather, I don't even know the kid, but he's 18, and I took a lot of shit when I was 18, when I first started lifting, that honestly fucked up my body, I'm sure, in some way or another.
You and me both.
And that kid, instead, he decided to come in here.
Yeah.
And now he has you to put him on the right path, and he's not going to fuck himself up in the process.
Well, I appreciate that.
And that's important.
Yeah, that's all part of the mission.
Right.
But enough about me. This is your interview, man. We started this without any kind of script or anything. So
It's going good so far.
I think so.
I'm good with it.
What's coming up for Norse, man?
Dude, we got all kinds of stuff in the works. So we just launched the Norse Army. That's an online fitness community. Kind of goes right back to the roots. Just gives people a place to call home, relate with like-minded individuals, but also we're providing them with all the tools that they need to improve physically and mentally. So I have a list of gurus, some of the best people in the Norse network. They're contributing articles, videos, advice.
Nice.
So anyone in the community can go on there and they can ask. If they have any questions, they'll probably have 10, 15 people that are knowledgeable on the topic.
That's awesome.
Providing their experience. And each person might have a different approach to it. And that I like that because that will relate best with that particular person.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like what works best for you might not work best for me, but someone else could tell me something similar but a little bit different, and that does work for me. So it gives people options to try stuff out, find out what works best for them, and run with it. So the Norse Army, that's the newest thing. We just launched that last week. It's going pretty good.
I'll have to hop on there, man.
It's good.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, we're just pushing ahead. We're going to start a podcast in June, hopefully.
Okay. Very nice.
I'm working on a book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy's writing a book.
Andy's writing a book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just going to be kind of based around the Norse mentality and stuff like that. Pretty much everything that we're behind. And I'm writing a book, like, it probably won't be done anytime soon.
No,
but
that's still
like,
cool that it's in the works.
Yeah. It kind of like started to click here recently. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but it's starting to click now. The structure and the theme and everything else behind it. So yeah, hopefully that's in the future.
I feel like it takes a few years for something like that to cultivate.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, you have to have experience for that.
Yeah, like I had that drive to do that similar thing last year, but like I don't have enough experience and enough time.
And that's the thing too. Like I'm still gonna. It's gonna be a while because I'm still gonna research stuff, and there's like I wouldn't want to put something out and me kind of feel like an imposter for it. Like if I'm gonna put something out, like it's gonna be something that I fully like experience myself and shit like that.
No doubt.
Yeah. Other than that, man, just grow, and keep trying to provide value and create that culture, and that's pretty much it, man. Just help people.
That's what it's all about, man. No doubt. So, any idea for North Carolina's gyms reopening?
If like the governor will ever pull his head out of his ass. Man, we're supposed to be able to open next week. We'll see, man. It's been a shit show.
Yeah.
About every week. Actually, let's say every morning, I wake up and I go, you know what, fuck it. We're reopening. And then my staff, being the voice of reason that they are, I'm like, Andy, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't break the law. But
Yeah.
I have a real problem with authority.
Right. No, I do. Yeah. Well, I think that's why with all business owners.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
I think that's
exactly.
kind of a
Yeah.
common
No,
trend.
that's true. Like, if you're a successful business owner, it's because you hate working for someone so much that you're willing to be more stressed out than ever before.
Oh yeah, it's 10
just
times
to
worse.
avoid working for
I
that
never
person.
understood the concept of, oh, dude, you got it made. You own
Oh, it's so much more stressful,
bro.
It's
like,
rewarding.
I don't think you don't got it made. You know, like
No,
you
no,
know,
yeah, I
like
agree.
it is. There's definitely aspects where I'm happier at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No doubt. Like I'm so much happier
because you have a purpose.
Yeah, but like I'll be honest with you, I don't know week to week if I'm making bread or not. Like I don't know if I'm, like I mean, we're paying our bills. I'm thankful to say that, but like it depends on what we want to do and whatnot.
Right.
Like there's a lot more.
I'm way more stressed out now than before I started the business.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah.
also I'm happier than ever.
But
It's because
had
it aligns with my personality.
Yeah, you had no hair before the business too, right?
Yeah, I've always been bald. I was born bald.
So
I just
the business ownership didn't do that to him. It didn't do it to me either. It's in the genes. Okay, so
I actually never had hair. I just came out bald and it never grew.
that's kind of badass though.
And that's a lie.
Oh, okay. I feel like you probably rocked a mane back in the day.
Oh, I had some like really awful scene emo bullshit back in high school, dude. I had like the little swoop and I'll have to find a picture sometime.
Oh,
it's
man.
It's god
Oh,
awful.
if you find it, I'm gonna put it over.
I don't even have facial hair in it. It's like the only picture where I don't have facial hair.
It's impressive.
Yeah,
Because you've had a beard since I met you.
Dude, I've had a beard since I was like 12.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. Yeah. See, like the facial hair came last for me. It was always like, have you, dude? I'm a woolly man, and this is 10 days.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Seriously. But yeah, totally got off the topic. But that's great. That's what
Yeah, now
a
we're talking
podcast
about chest
is for,
hair.
man.
What?
Yeah, business and chest hair. Welcome to the cast, right?
But what were we even talking about?
we were just kind of talking about business stress because I trailed it from the gym.
Yeah. I think to me, business success comes down to two things: your purpose, and also you hate authority.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my that's my two main pushes.
Yeah,
like I have a purpose, which is more than most people can say, and I think that's where depression and stuff comes from. Is that we live in a day where like you don't really have to have a purpose, you don't really have to have a meaning for life, you don't have a role.
Yeah, and exactly. I mean, if you don't and I've always correlated it back to boardom in a sense, but that's the same thing as no purpose, right? Because we have time, we have that luxury to sit around and be depressed and be sad. 500 years ago we were fighting and foraging for food,
you didn't have time to think about it.
You don't have time to be sad, right? So I agree.
That's something I'm pretty passionate about, actually. I think that's a big, because I used to be really depressed and stuff.
And that's not to be desensitive to mental health, right?
No. The last thing is I experienced that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole reason behind Norse as well. That's why I started lifting. For me, I started lifting because, dude, I was suicidal.
Oh damn.
Straight up gun in my mouth, ready to fucking I was bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. And I think I went to a gym, or no, I used to run and stuff just to that made me feel better. But even in middle school and shit, I was I just got to go. I got to get my head clear.
Right.
And I always had an interest in fitness, but I just didn't have any guidance with it.
Yeah.
So I my early 20s, I was on a really, really rough path. Drinking every day. Like I said, the suicidal stuff, and now I'm cool to talk about it, but that's something I would never talked about before.
No. Yeah.
But lifting is what gave me that, I guess, that relief. And then just learning more about that, like you said. So whenever I started lifting, this makes me feel better. I want to learn more about it, and I got obsessed with it.
Yep. And that's where interest becomes passion.
Right.
And then the passion becomes purpose.
Yeah.
I guess that's going to be my new acronym there.
Yeah. There you go. Put it on the next shirt.
Yeah, IPP, man. But yeah, I totally agree, man. Having that purpose in whatever you do.
Well, that's why it's because I was doing nothing with my life.
Right.
I was doing absolutely nothing. I was just drinking. Like I said, I was in Panama City. I hated living there. I was around people that just were just bad people.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't get away from it. And Norse gave me that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I that clicked, I'm okay, I get it now. For
Right.
one, I don't have time to be depressed because I'm so busy. You know,
it'll force you to have no depression.
But also like purpose, you know. And I'm not saying like everyone needs to go start a business.
No. But you know, people can be very successful within a company too.
Oh hell yeah, help it grow. Like some people
there's
need to.
entrepreneurs and then there's entrepreneurs and like people who are within the business.
They have it made.
Oh, they do have it made.
Dude, honestly, they have it made.
They've got a consistent paycheck and they have an opportunity of unlimited upward mobility. If
but they can help grow something that they believe in.
Exactly.
You know, like the people that work here, same thing. The people that work for me, I hope that they have the same concept as well. You know, and a lot of them, like I know they do, because in the beginning they had to suffer because I couldn't guarantee anything, but they believed in the mission so much that they stuck around. And the same thing, man. Like we've even talked about before. It's like this gives me purpose. Like I'm happier doing this.
Yep.
And you know, then we could go into like people. I mean, we could go down the road of like people just like making a lot of money and being absolutely fucking miserable because they don't have anything. But you know,
and that's very true. But you know, you think about money doesn't provide happiness. The purpose and
money provides freedom.
Yeah, exactly. Money
and freedom gives you happiness.
That's exactly right.
You know,
so
people that hate on money.
Those are the people who hate on money are the people that have none, man. Let's be honest. Like it's
but it's that mindset.
Yeah,
they're never going to because they want to play the victim.
Yeah,
you can't play the fucking victim and expect to get anything out of life.
I blame our parents' generation too for.
Oh, absolutely! I had this discussion with my girlfriend yesterday.
Yeah,
100%,
dude. You know, there's no opportunities. The people who make it are just lucky. That L word.
No, that's bullshit.
You know, like it, and then
Well, we live in a day. Like this time frame that we live in right now is the best. Like we have issues, but I mean they even call it like the knowledge age or some shit, right? Like we have endless opportunity at our fingertips. Like I can pick up this goddamn phone right now and learn anything that I want to for free.
Yeah.
The issue though is that people don't have the initiative to do that. Exactly. Instead, they want to sit on Facebook or Instagram and do this shit all day, and they learn nothing.
But they're driven into that though.
Right. I mean, well, they have, dude. They can't get away from it because there's these people in Silicon Valley, these experts that get paid millions of dollars to trap them into it. Like, dude, it has nothing to do with them. I feel like I fall into it as well.
Yeah.
You have scientists that figure out what they need to do in order to release dopamine. You know?
Yeah, make you feel good.
And then it makes you feel good, so you continue to do it. You can't control that,
But also
man.
at the same time, people are exposed to that, and they're still cultured and driven to believe that they can't create something for themselves or
and that's
have that one purpose.
And that's unfortunate. Yeah. Because I think everyone has an opportunity to better themselves and to create opportunity for themselves. It's just that they've had it forced into their head that they can't.
No, that's not for me. Or that's for people.
I can't do that.
Yeah. That's
like,
there's no way.
I hate that.
I have so many people that'll come to me, and young guys, right? Because I'm a young guy myself.
Yeah.
We're both relatively young. Guys out of high school, man, I want to start a business. I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're saying that, you probably don't want to start a business.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
not everyone should start a business.
A business is not started with the drive to start a business. A business is started to solve a problem and create to expand on that problem solving, right? So
I think that's where people mess up is that people go into business self-centered. They're like, I want to do this because it's going to make my life better. That's not business.
No.
Business is you have to provide value to other people. Otherwise, your business is going to fail.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And then there's those people that are probably listening to this or people who watch and listen to similar conversations, and they just absorb this information. And they absorb it, and they absorb it, and they never do anything about it.
So what do you think is the solution to that? Because, I mean, dude, we even talked about this earlier where we'll read books and all that stuff, but then we don't put it into action. So what do you think the solution is to that?
I would say, obviously, I would think that making a list and attacking the list
I'm right there with
every day is a very important thing. I do that every day. Now, that's not a long-term solution. You know, if somebody's listening and is like, how do I get going or whatever, I'm like, just set a long-term goal. Like I have a vision board at home where I set like freaking 5-year goals, 10 years goals. I have a 1-year goal. But then from there, have a daily task list that gets you even 1 inch closer to the long-term goal.
That's the same. I preach that to we have a mailing list and stuff, and in the Norse Army, I have articles about it. But it's the same thing. I call it the plan of attack. Like you have to know where you're going if you're going to get anywhere, but also you have to know which steps to take in order to get there. But you don't have. Let me back up. I think the main thing that stops people is that They think they have to have everything set into place in order to get going. And we see this in the fitness world.
Yeah.
You know, so I know you definitely see this. So I think this is going to be a really good example.
Yeah.
People decide they want to start working out.
Yep.
You know, they want to make that change. So they fucking wake up. Today's the day. I'm going to go work out. Well, I don't know what supplements I need to take. Oh, no, I can't go to the gym unless I go get the best pre-workout. Well, I'll go do that tomorrow. Well, maybe I should. I probably need some workout clothes. Well, I can't work out until I have the best workout clothes and the best shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, it's excuse after excuse.
We get it every day.
Right.
And it's like...
But that's not their fault. It's just that they're overthinking it. You just got to get started.
They are letting their subconscious procrastinate.
Oh, yeah, but that's the worst part is that you can't control your subconscious.
Retail therapy, right? You go drop some money, you feel good about it even if you're not doing it, right?
Right, exactly.
And so, like,
go buy that new $200 pair of running shoes that you don't fucking need.
And people come in and they'll be like, I'm looking to get started in the gym again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, have you started? Well, no, I'm going next Monday to get my membership set up.
Why are you not going now?
And no, you know, we don't sell anything to those people.
Good.
Dude,
that's amazing.
They get sent out the door, and when they come back with a 3-day diet log of what they're eating and tell us about their workouts, then we help them.
Oh, I love that.
But, you know, and it's nothing against them. But
supplement stores take note. Holy shit.
Well, they don't. The thing is, man, for one, they might get pissed off initially, but if they actually do take action in that and realize down the road that we're just trying to help them, you know, that's going to develop lifelong trust.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, literally, we send them out the door with nothing.
Yes,
and
that's the best thing.
And we've had people that want to drop $200 or $300, like right in front of us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, man, or lady, you don't need this yet. You know, like, this is something that
it'll help, obviously.
Exactly, down the road, once we get everything else in line.
Like getting into the gym, or you don't have to go to the gym. Just start walking. Start doing something. That's things people overthink it. But it's like you said, it's the subconscious. You know, and it's hard to get past that.
And so I think, you know, kind of taking it back, that list making thing.
Yeah.
People need to take into account the value of that list, though, like what it implies. It doesn't mean brush your teeth. It doesn't mean make your bed.
No.
It is action steps that are going to move you forward.
I write down my goals twice a day.
Okay.
I write them down in the morning. I got 4 to 5. Based on different avenues, or based on different aspects of life. But I write them down in the morning, and but this is where this deals into the subconscious, you know, aspect of it.
Yeah.
When you write it down first thing in the morning, that's when your subconscious is most alert. That's when you're most alert in general. That's when you're taking in the most information. That's why they say like you should read as soon as you wake up, because you're gonna take that in more. You're gonna think about it throughout the day. So as soon as you wake up, you're writing down your goals. But the way that you write it down, you need to be like, as if it already happened. And at that point, you're reprogramming your subconscious.
Right.
And then at night, do the same thing, because your subconscious is working the entire time that you're asleep. And people don't realize that. So if you write down your goals, as soon as you go to bed, that's the last thing that you think about. You fall asleep thinking about all this shit that you're going to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you wake up, you fucking do it again, dude. Right. It's an endless cycle.
Yep.
And that's
same thing. Yeah. Same can be said about, you know, my use of a vision board. Like
it's the same exact thing.
You look at it, you envision yourself, right? And I'm not a big fan of The Secret or the Law of Attraction, because a lot of people take that out of context.
I honestly don't know shit about it.
Yeah.
I hadn't even dug into it. Like, I know the idea behind it, but I'm like, it's not my thing.
Yeah, speak it into existence.
Right.
People take that and run with it, but, you know, there is something to be said about seeing your goals and making a point to take
action.
Well,
because, once again, it's your subconscious. You when you visualize that to the extent where you can feel it, and I talk about this in, like, the Norse stuff where we're talking about the plan of attack and stuff. When you visualize it so much that you can feel it, that you can smell it, your subconscious puts that into action. They're like, what is this?
Yep.
Let's make this fucking happen. But you have to remind yourself of that every day.
And the problem with our generation, our society, is the instant gratification generation, where, the millions were made overnight, or the success happened so quick.
Yeah.
So that whole concept of daily steps and action every day, it doesn't matter to a lot of these kids, a lot of these people.
And that's unfortunate. But that's kind of like our... That's why we're making this podcast.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it wasn't the intention behind it.
I didn't know what we were going to talk about.
But either way, I think that people, hopefully, at least one person can take something from this and put it into, and it can help them. Like, I've never thought about that. Write down my goals twice a day. Cool. Yeah, you can't just write that shit down once in the beginning of January.
Yeah.
Because, like, we'll get to that in a second, but you can't just write it down once and think that's going to happen. You got to constantly remind yourself of it. And also, I mean, what helps me is if I write that down, I better fucking do it, because I'm not going to feel like a hypocrite.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to allow myself to be a hypocrite. So if I'm write something down like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it.
And that's and that's what that's where the gratification comes from me. Is not achieving success, right?
No.
Like
it's sticking with it.
It's winning the day every day for me. Like if I hit those 5 marks every day, checks beside my tasks,
right,
I'm freaking on fire.
Oh yeah.
But like we won best new business in the county last year. Like we got that award, and like even the award, like even at the time, I was like,
well, it's because you want more.
Yeah, like I don't know, and everybody's like, why are you downplaying it? Well, blah blah blah. That's a big deal. I'm like, I get more gratification out of winning my day.
Yeah,
I got it.
So, I'm right there with you. And plus, but it's because like we don't have there is no limit to success.
No.
Like how do you define success?
Well, I mean,
I don't think anyone can.
Yeah, I mean, what, like emotional, physical, spiritual, monetary, like what?
Right, it can always get better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your headspace, emotional, that can always be better. Financial can always be better. There is no limit to financial. Yeah. There is no limit to, mental or anything like that. You can always be improving on that. And even with working out, you can always be improving working out. Like there is success. I've never even thought about it, but I mean, honestly, success is kind of fucking overrated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, and it's also, I think that's why a lot more people notice a financial increase in success when they get more fit physically.
Yeah.
Because, and this is indirect, but the same methods of consistency apply to both.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to the gym, you're hitting your diet every day, you're doing everything right training-wise.
Right, dude, if you stick to that for a week,
yeah.
The people that actually stick to that for a week, they feel great. Mm-hmm. That dopamine that we were talking about, that's released.
So that's their success. That's the daily grind, consistently, right? But after 6 months, they've changed their body completely.
Right, now it's a lifestyle.
Right.
Now it's a habit.
Yeah, exactly. And they've developed it. And then the same thing for monetary success, though, in business.
Yeah.
You lay that groundwork every day, and you do it.
Yeah, and then that's the issue, especially with our generation and Instagram and Facebook and all that shit, is that people think that you can just make millions overnight.
Yeah.
And even if you did, you'd be miserable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, what have you accomplished?
Yeah, you haven't accomplished shit. You still have no purpose.
I always love what Gary Vee has said, man. He's like, I don't give a shit about my bank account when I'm on my deathbed. If my life goal is to have thousands of people show up at my funeral.
Yeah.
Because that means that I've laid an impact on so many lives.
Right, because that's what's going to be spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, 100 years after you're dead, that's what's going to be talked about. And that should be everyone's aspirations in life. If you say it's not, you're full of shit.
Yeah, yeah. Or you just don't, or your values are a little off balance,
I think you should reevaluate.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think everyone should want, you don't have to be a legend, I guess, so to say, but everyone should want at least their family to talk about.
You're supposed to be a legend, man.
Yeah, I downplayed that. You absolutely should be. But
well, man, how long have we been going here?
Well, I don't know. A while.
About 32 minutes. We should probably sum it up.
Yeah.
But dude,
I don't know what we're gonna sum up. Bunch of shit. I hope you guys caught value from that.
I think there's something to be said. I think you should hurry up and start a fucking podcast because you've got a lot of shit to say.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of your people would really, really love that.
Yeah.
But dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Seriously.